For 25 years, I existed in the shadow of my golden brother, Leo. Every February 12th, my birthday, passed with a polite, often belated text message, or more typically, a deafening silence. But 2 weeks later, on February 26th, the entire family, Mom, Dad, and my older sister Leda, would erupt into a frenzy of lavish spending and attention for Leo's birthday. We're talking rented ballrooms, catered menus, and toasts praising his inevitable success. It was an annual, brutal reminder of my place. Secondary, forgettable, and utterly unloved. The year I turned 26, my birthday came and went without a single phone call. I spent the day alone, eating instant ramen. 2 weeks later, my father called. Not to apologize, but to demand I fly across the country for Leo's $30,000 Great Gatsby-themed gala. "You will be here," he stated, his voice a cold command. "Family is about showing up." That night, something in me snapped. The decades of neglect, the casual cruelty of being ignored while they celebrated my brother's mere existence, congealed into a hard, diamond-sharp resolve. They wanted me to show up for Leo? Fine, I would attend Leo's party. But I wouldn't be showing up as the forgotten sibling. I'd be showing up as the architect of their ruin, ready to execute a revenge plan timed perfectly to expose the rot underneath their gilded family facade. This time, they wouldn't just forget my birthday, they'd wish they had forgotten the whole year. My father's command to attend Leo's party wasn't just cruel, it was an opportunity. For years, I had watched from the periphery, collecting information like a quiet historian. The first thing I investigated was their financial dependence on Leo. Everyone lauded Leo's brilliant real estate career, but the reality was that his success was a carefully constructed fiction. The multi-million-dollar deals he constantly bragged about were entirely financed by Dad, who used his own capital as collateral. I discovered that Dad had recently transferred the deed to a prime, unencumbered, family-owned building, a legacy asset Mom had inherited, directly into Leo's business portfolio to secure a massive, high-interest bridge loan. This move was technically legal, but Mom and my sister Leda were completely unaware of the transfer, believing the building was still safely under Mom's trust. I realized that Leo's lavish birthday parties and his entire perceived wealth were built on a staggering amount of debt and a fundamental secret kept from Mom and Leda. My revenge plan solidified. It wouldn't be loud or destructive. It would be exposure. I didn't want their money, I wanted their truth laid bare. I started meticulously preparing a series of short, anonymous, evidence-backed digital reports detailing Leo's real financial state and the hidden deed transfer. I designed the reports to be delivered simultaneously to Mom, Leda, and Leo's most important business contact, the moment the clock struck midnight at the party. I would be there, a quiet, smiling witness, ready for the fireworks I had personally lit. The night of Leo's Great Gatsby Gala was a spectacle of excess. A live band, champagne flowing, and my brother Leo soaking up every ounce of adoration. My father, beaming, delivered a gushing toast about Leo's visionary leadership, while my mother and Leda clapped enthusiastically, oblivious to the financial quicksand beneath their feet. As the countdown to midnight began, the moment they would sing "Happy Birthday" to Leo and ignore the fact that my own birthday had just passed, I felt a quiet, powerful surge. I excused myself to the lavish restroom, not to refresh my drink, but to finalize my carefully timed, anonymous digital attack. Exactly as the clock struck 12, ushering in Leo's birthday, the carefully crafted, evidence-backed reports detailing Leo's precarious finances, his ballooning debt, and crucially, the secret transfer of Mom's legacy building deed pinged simultaneously into the inboxes of Mom, Leda, and Leo's most influential business partner, all from untraceable accounts. I walked back into the ballroom just as the happy birthday chorus swelled, my eyes fixed on my family at the head table. My mother's phone buzzed first, her smile faltering as she glanced at the screen. Then Leda's phone lit up, her eyes widening in disbelief. Finally, Leo's phone vibrated, and as he read, his triumphant grin dissolved into a mask of pure, unadulterated terror. The party music, which had seemed so joyous moments ago, now felt like a mocking soundtrack to their impending financial ruin. The cheers for Leo's birthday were quickly being replaced by the silent, devastating echoes of their discovered secrets. The climax exploded across the head table when Mom, her face ghostly white, finally pushed her phone across the pristine white linen to my father. The attached report detailing the secret transfer of her inherited building's deed hit him like a physical blow. His frantic gaze immediately locked onto Leo, whose own phone was now screaming with calls from his largest lender. The gilded facade of the Great Gatsby gala shattered as my father grabbed Leo's arm, his whispered confrontation about the bridge loan and the imminent bank audit quickly escalating into a shouting match that silenced the entire ballroom. Leda, realizing that her comfortable future was tied to a worthless paper fortune, started hysterically demanding an explanation. But there was no time for lies. The truth, that Leo was deep in debt and Dad had mortgaged Mom's legacy behind her back to save him, was now undeniable. I watched from a quiet corner as the three of them dissolved into mutual recriminations, their perfect, exclusive party now ruined by their own secrets. My revenge wasn't a fine or an eviction. It was the total public collapse of the financial trust that formed the very bedrock of their favoritism. As my father frantically tried to salvage the situation, I calmly placed a single, wrapped, expensive gift on the empty space where I usually spent my own birthday alone. A final, ironic gesture, and then walked out the door, leaving them to pay the true, devastating cost of forgetting me. The aftermath of the ruined gala brought me ultimate closure. My father faced crippling regulatory scrutiny, Leo's deals fell apart without Dad's unsecured capital, and Mom initiated a quiet but ferocious legal battle against Dad over the fraudulent deed transfer of her inherited building. The entire golden facade they had built for Leo crumbled, and for the first time in years, the family spotlight was off my brother and focused entirely on their own mutual destruction. I never responded to their desperate, panicked calls. My revenge wasn't about seeking attention, but securing silence and freedom. I realized my moral. The greatest revenge against those who neglect you is to expose the rotten foundation of the world they cherish, proving that your absence was the only thing holding their entire house of cards together. They had forgotten my birthday for decades, but they would never forget the night I gave them the most expensive, devastating gift of their lives: the truth. I was finally free of their toxic, conditional love, knowing that the greatest party I ever threw was the one that ended their lies. If you believe that the quiet sibling is often the most dangerous, like this video, thumbs up, and subscribe to Iron Revenge. Next time, we have the unbelievable story of the wife who swapped her cheating husband's $1 million classic car with a stolen duplicate just before his big auction. You won't want to miss it. The end.